up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie, and today on the channel, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the books that I have on my April TBR. Before we get into the books, a quick reminder to all of you who are interested in participating in Dracula Daily this year. That will start on May the 3rd. I have the link in the description box down below where you can sign up to get those emails. The gist of it is the book is broken down into journal entries and emailed to you. I thought it was a lot of fun last year, really enjoyed it, and I promised to remind all of you who wanted to try it this year, I would remind you in time to sign up. So go ahead and click that link in the description box, get signed up, and you'll be ready to go and get your first email on May the 3rd. Now it's time to talk books. We'll kick this off with my carryovers from previous TBRs. The first one in that stack is River of Stars by Lily Ann Crow. This is the second book in the Will of the Wayfinder series. I'm excited because the arc for book 3 should be hitting my inbox very soon. So that one is first on the list, or it's going to be the next book that I pick up as soon as I have the arc for book 3, because I know I'm going to want to read those back to back. Another book that y'all have been hearing about for several months, I have a reading plan in place for April for this one. It's going to get read. This is The City of Marble and Blood by Howard Andrew Jones. It's the second book in the Chronicles of Hannivar series. If it's anything like the first book, it's going to be another 5-star read. The first book was hands down the best sword and sorcery fantasy novel I can remember reading for a very, very long time, maybe ever. I'm banking on this one following the same format as book 1, which is sequential storytelling. So based on that assumption, I have a reading plan in place to get this one read in April finally. And my last carryover is A Memory of Light by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson. Though technically it was scheduled for this month, I just thought I might be able to fit it in last month, so I stuck it on the March TBR. Didn't happen. That's okay. It's gonna happen this month. Or I'm going to at least get started. This sucker is a brick. That one will complete my reread of the Wheel of Time series. And speaking of series reread, we'll go ahead and talk about the next one on my list for the Dresden Files, book 14, Cold Days. I am so excited for this one for many reasons, which I cannot share because it is book 14 in the series, but those of you who have read the series, you're probably going to guess exactly what those reasons are. That brings us to all of the new stuff that's showing up for the first time on my TBR. We'll start with The Brides of High Hill by Ni Vo. This is the 5th book in the Singing Hills cycle. From what I read on NetGalley, all of these books in this particular series are considered standalones. They don't have to be read in any particular order. I have seen many positive things said about the previous books by Angela over on the channel Literature Science Alliance. I'll locate some of those videos and have them linked in the description box down below. So that's why when I saw this one appear on NetGalley, I wanted to request it immediately. I did check out the book description though, and there was one line that got me. A gothic mystery involving a crumbling estate, a mysterious bride, and an extremely murderous teapot. Y'all, if nothing else, I would have requested this novella for the simple fact that I have to know about this murderous teapot. This book comes out on May the 7th, so be looking for my review to pop up. So if you need a little more convincing to pick it up besides the murderous teapot, hopefully I can provide that information to you. The next book I'm going to talk about is a review requested by the author. It's called The Wretched by Jason Guin. All it took was reading the first 2 lines of the book description before I sent the author an immediate yes to read and review. Lucifer has been expelled to a place worse than hell, Tucson, Arizona. Having lost everything to the usurper Beelzebub, Lucifer finds himself trapped on Earth, the one place he can die. Without options and shit out of luck, he does the unthinkable and realigns with his old nemesis, God, for a shot at vengeance against Beelzebub. This sounds like it's going to be hilarious. I love the little element of danger with the fact that Lucifer can die. I'm also excited to read about the exchange that's going to take place between Lucifer and God when he's trying to realign with him. This is going to be a great book. I just feel it in my bones, y'all. So if these 2 lines roused your curiosity about this book, keep your eyes on the channel. I will have a review go up, which is a great time to say, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the reviews that are going to be coming about these books that I'm talking about today. So this next book. Y'all, I don't know what to think. To be fair, I did have this one marked on my want to read list for Goodreads, but the reason why I'm reading it in April is because it is my patron pick of the month. My friend and author John Palladino is my patron for the month of April, which means he gets to choose a book for me to read, and he chose this one. We are both very curious about what kind of experience I'm going to have, and I do like a good romance every now and then. At any rate, we're going to give Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros a try. From what I remember about this one, obviously it has dragons, and I want to say there is some type of academia aspect to it, of a war college or a war school or some type of learning facilities involved. I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. Next, we'll talk about the book club pick for April for the Literally Dead book club. This is a book club hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. I decided I wanted to be a part of a book club. I joined hers because it seems to be thriller and horror related. I'm always game for one of those. So for the month of April, we will be reading Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. I'm excited to have yet another new to me author on this list for April. I'm also intrigued because the little one-line book description that I read gave me a feel for Mary Higgins Clark, and when I was a teenager, I would devour her books in a single day. I just absolutely loved those. But that one line that I read about this one, a mother is forced to the breaking point when her life and the lives of her children are threatened by an intruder. Nothing scares me more than a good home invasion book or movie. I don't know why they're so creepy. I guess because they could be real. So I am super excited and also not to read this one. Next on my list for April is one I've been looking forward to for a few months now. It's called Fourscored by Andrew D. Meredith. It's the second book in the Needle and Leaf series, and I believe I scheduled it for April because the third and final book in the trilogy will be releasing very soon. This is a folklore fantasy inspired novel. The thing that I love most about it is its character development, the found family trope. My gosh, y'all, I was crying so much in the first book. Just absolutely loved it. That book is so special to me personally, but it's such a great book. I have not found anybody in the reviewer spaces that I am in that did not read Thrice, the first book in the series, and just absolutely loved it. If you haven't heard about this series, I will link my non-spoiler written review for Thrice in the description box below to go check that out. Alright y'all, we're down to the last 2 books on my April TBR. Both of these are free copies that I received from the publisher to review. Both are published by Saga Press, an imprint of Simon & Schuster, and both of these are authors that I have read and loved before. I am so very excited that I will be reading, finally, The Reformatory by Tanana Reeve Dew. This is a historical horror book. Ever since the author started tweeting about it before it published, it's been on my radar. Gracetown, Florida, June 1950. 12-year-old Robbie Stevens Jr. is sentenced to 6 months at the Gracetown School for Boys for kicking the son of the largest landowner in town in defense of his older sister Gloria. So begins Robbie's journey further into the terrors of the Jim Crow South and the very real horror of the school they call the Reformatory. I just cannot wait to read that one. And then the other book that I requested from Saga Press, and I will be reading in April, The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Keast. Y'all, Gwendolyn Keast is an amazing author. Previously, I've only read short stories by this author, so I am thrilled to get a full-length novel. What grabbed my attention about this one, besides the author, besides the cover, is this line. Gwendolyn Keast has created a suburban ghost story about a small town that trapped 3 young women who must confront the past if they're going to have a future. I just can't. I just can't. Y'all, I hope some of these books sound as good to you as they did to me. I picked them all up. I'm going to read them. I'm going to review them. So if you're interested to hear more about them, what I thought, keep your eyes on the channel. I will be putting up reviews just as soon as I can get through these pages. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed hearing about what I'm planning to read for April. If you want to share what you're reading, go ahead and drop down in the comments below. Let me know what you're picking up and let me know what you're most excited for me to read. Have a great rest of your day and I'll catch you in the next one.